Stampers, this is Chris from StampingBugsCards.com. Did you know that you can get some great inspiration from your Stampin' Up! Catalogs? Well, they can be a great resource to you. And I was looking through my holiday catalog today, and on page 15 there was this blue ornament, and it's kind of a two-tone, and I thought it was just beautiful. See if I can get it in the camera right. Isn't that gorgeous? Well, I decided that I wanted to come up with a technique to do this ornament, so I'll show you the card that I came up with. This is the card, and I thought it turned out great. It looks nothing like the one in the book, but it's my take on it, and I just thought it turned out really pretty. So I'll begin by telling you the supplies that we're going to use. And we're going to use Whisper White as our card base, and it is cut at 11 by 4 1/4 and scored at 5 1/2. And then we have a piece of Pacific Point, which is 5 1/4 by 4. Whisper White, which is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. Another piece of Whisper White that is 3/4 by 3 1/2. And then we'll use some scrap paper of the silver foil sheet and the Whisper White. So that's all the cardstock we're going to use. Then we're also going to use the Softly Falling embossing folder and the Delicate Ornaments Framelits or Thinlits set. We're going to use the outline here, and we're going to use the topper. And then we're going to use the stamp set that goes with this, and it's called Embellished Ornaments. And we're going to be using quite a few out of here, actually all of these here. And then also I'm going to be using Petite Petals, and this stamp right here is the one I'm going to use. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some stamping. And I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper here, and using Pacific Point ink, and what I'm doing is I'm just going around the outside of this paper because that's all that's going to be seen. I'm having so much fun with this bundle. I just love it, as you can tell, because I've used it a lot. Okay, that's it for that. And then we're going to bring in Pool Party ink. Get rid of this. Let's see. Yeah, this is our scrap. Okay, so we're going to bring in our ornament. I'm going to ink this up with Pool Party. And I think my ink pad needs to be re-inked. Then I'm going to bring in a dauber with the Pacific Point. And I'm, just going to go around the outside edge here. It's a really quick technique. Then I'm going to bring my scrap paper back in, and I'm going to get off as much of this ink as I can, and that's probably good. And then I'm going to go around and try to soften those edges so that we don't have such a stark contrast. Just kind of blend them together. And since this is a big stamp, you really need to put some good pressure on it. Give it a few seconds to hold the ink. Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. And next we're going to stamp the inside of our card. Since how we have the ink out already. Make sure it's right side up. And I have found that if I get my card straight on my grid paper, I have a better chance of getting my stamp straight. Doesn't always work, but it helps. Okay, we have that. Now I'm going to stamp our flower. And I'll bring in our 3/4 by 3.5 inch paper and stamp that with Pacific Point also. Just kind of in the center somewhere. Okay. And I'm using the Petite Petals punch to punch out our flower. And then to save time, I already cut this out with the framelit and put some dimensionals on the back. And I'm going to add the topper to it. I have glue dots on the back of the topper. Close up my ink before I put my fingers in it. And then I want to put a piece of ribbon through our center there and put another glue dot to hold the ribbon down. And then we can place this on our card. So first I'm going to glue this down with my favorite mono multi-purpose glue. Looks like I'm using a lot of glue, but it's very thin lines, so it's not as much as it looks like. And then I've already run our other piece of Whisper White through the embossing folder, the Softly Falling. And I'm going to add our ornament to this down towards the bottom. Just center it. And then I'm going to take our ribbon around the back side and put a dimensional to hold that down, and then I'm going to put dimensionals on the corners. Trim that ribbon down. Now just center this on our card. I'll bring in our flower and my Stampin' Pierce mat. Then I'll bring in a glue dot for that. And we need some rhinestones, of course. So I'm going to use one of the large ones in the center, and then I use the medium ones on the sides. And I already tied a bow, and I have a glue dot on the back of it, and I'm going to put that right up there at the top. And then for our sentiment, I'm bringing in the triple banner punch, and I'm just, because this is smaller than the opening, I'm just going to eyeball centering it. And we need more dimensionals. And that gets centered up here at the top. Just like that. And that's the card. There's the inside. Bring back in our other one. I think they turned out just beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you try this technique. It was really fun. And I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.